So I actually was genuine about the audio being lost, so I'm just gonna be talking through this. So things are going pretty quick with a bunch of clips, but here we just arrived at Paris, and the clips before were me in the bathroom in the Newark airport, finding the bathroom really cool. But yeah, this is when we landed in Paris, like the Paris Orly airport. We just gotten outside, and it was nice and sunny out. The weather was nice. And then we hopped in this dude. Our actual Uber canceled, and we couldn't get any of the rides. And this dude said he would fit all of our luggages into his car. He was an actual goat. We fit all this stuff. It did not look like it was gonna fit. Mind you, this dude's car was like, looked like a normal 4 or 5 seater, and we had 4 or 5 big suitcases, and it just did not look like it would fit. But the man said he would do it, and we thought we were gonna get scammed, but he was able to do it, and he was a really nice guy. An awesome car ride. And yeah, now I'll just let y'all enjoy the view that I recorded for a couple minutes. Yeah, you swear, what love is. Girl, I swear you never seen it in your life. Ooh, oh, oh, oh. Yeah, I swear you never seen it in your life. Ooh, oh, oh, yeah. Girl, I swear you never seen it in your life. Oh, yeah. All right, now we just got to the Airbnb in Paris. We had about, I think, 9 people total on our trip. So it was very interesting to try to fit all of us into the Airbnb. It looked much better, or much bigger, much bigger in pictures and everything. I'm not too tall. I'm around 6'2", 6'3", so sometimes the ceilings were a little bit annoying to navigate around. And but overall it was very nice. I liked the layout, very simple, very clean, had a nice aesthetic to it, and it was fun to be with all the boys. But again, it was strange feeling like everything was crammed and everything. But the good thing about this Airbnb location is it's right next to all the major stuff that we needed to get to. For example, now this just cuts the Eiffel Tower, but it wasn't too far from the Eiffel Tower. Yes, and we did this all on the same day that we got here, because we were only staying in Paris for 2 days, because the other 7 days we were going to spend in Nice, and we were going to stay in Nice for 7 days, but we were going to go off to a bunch of other close by areas and cities like Cannes, etc. So yeah, so this is me at the Eiffel Tower. It was hella windy that day, very kind of cold too when you're really up there. But come on, man, breathtaking view. We already bought tickets beforehand. We got there, went up the elevator. The only downside is, again, it's a little bit cold, so if you guys do ever come up here in the future, maybe bring a little bit of a sweater or a jacket. But the lines too were a little bit hectic. You would look at something and then you're like, okay, maybe I want to move on, but you're like, oh shoot, the lines are kind of held up. But again, man, you don't get this view anywhere else. It's kind of touristy, but at the same time, I definitely enjoy just being up there. Very calming. And again, I'm also scared of heights. So the whole time I was looking down and around, I felt like I had vertigo and I was gonna fall. That had my heart racing a little bit. But then again, I realized you don't see this view anywhere else. So I kind of sucked it up and just did my best recording. But yeah, kind of reminded me of the city a little bit. I remember I went up, I forget where I went that one time in New York City, but I was able to get really high. Kind of had a view similar, but obviously nothing like that. You're really high up when you're out on the Eiffel. Yeah, it's you're at the center. It feels like you're at the center of everything. Here we are, me just trying to get some footage of me and my boy. And then this is when we came back down, just taking some more shots of the tower. Absolutely beautiful. Everything was just so nice that day. Anyway, we're back at the crib again, me taking shots. And we're about to head to a nice restaurant I believe I dropped like I was dropping a lot of euros there, man, on a lot of food. But again, never would have the experience again. Oh, this is me the next morning. Everyone already left. I had kind of slept in, you know, again, with 8-9 guys in the house. It's gonna be a little messy. This is the second day. I had met up with my other boy and we had gone to an opera house. I forgot the exact name of the opera house, but man, it was huge. I think we had to pay to get in. So it's not something you could just walk in. Again, a very little bit of a touristy location. If you notice that one from the thumbnail, there you go. Maybe I clickbaited some of y'all. I'm sorry, y'all. I had no audio. Like, I wish I had audio because I had to cut out a bunch of stuff too that had audio and me talking with people and stuff like that because obviously it wouldn't make sense. So I'm upset that I lost the audio. But yeah, we're going up here, just exploring. It's always a cool thing, you know, just to be walking around and seeing something you've never seen before. The architecture of the opera house was absolutely stunning. The lighting, the ambiance, just to be there is a whole different story than it is for me to capture it on camera. And again, I'm sorry if the footage is a little shaky too. This is my first time ever using this camera and actually vlogging outdoors. But yeah, again, this is also another learning experience for me too. You know, I had fun with this whole trip, but it's another learning experience for me to learn how to hold the damn camera. But yeah, that was super fun. Again, you can see just more clips of the whole opera house, and there's me. Yeah, absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. This place was filled too. It was filled pretty well. We just walked around. I think we spent maybe a total of like 20-30 minutes in here. But again, like, you know, I condensed some of the footage just to capture more of the architecture here. I know it looks like the lights are flickering, or there's like this weird like glarish thing, and that's just the camera capturing everything, like capturing the lighting and all that stuff, so it comes out a little bit weird on the camera. And that's not the camera's fault. That's just the camera being able to capture frame rates and stuff like that. Here we are. This is where they actually perform. The ceiling was incredible. I didn't even realize it until I moved my camera down. But the ceiling was incredible. And here, I just sped through some of this stuff. If you guys really want to look at all the artwork and all the stuff at the opera house, you can slow it down. But for the sake and, you know, trying to make this video somewhat condensed. Again, there's no audio, so I'm just talking through it. But yeah, this is just us navigating through the opera house. Sorry, I'm laughing because it's funny to see it all sped up when you actually took your time and looked through everything. But yeah, I don't even know why I zoomed in on that. I think I wanted someone to translate that because it was all in French. But anyway, yes, now we're at the Louvre, right outside the Louvre. And yeah, this place was packed. There was a lot of people. People like to like capture the angle. So like you stand, I don't know how to explain this, but you stand on top of the thing, like a little box way in front of that like pyramid looking thing. And then if you stand far enough and you like pinch it, it looks like you're sort of bigger than it and you're holding onto it. I don't know how to explain it, but if you understood, you understood. If you didn't, my bad. And here we go, just us we're waiting on our other friends there. But yeah, we met up with them and then we explored the Louvre. We kind of sped run it. You know, we looked at like all the major paintings and stuff, but mainly we came from the Mona Lisa, so that's where we spent most of our time. And that line was huge too. But there's so much at the Louvre. If you really wanted to like take your time, like we would have not had enough time in our day to do that. There is so much there. There's so much to do. It's ridiculous. But there's so many cool things, like things I don't even know like what they are or how to explain them. But here's my boy Gavin. I don't know what he was doing with that. He was getting a little freaky. You know, Gavin's a little bit on the freaky side. And then this is our Airbnb in Nice. Very nice. This is where we stayed all like the rest of the 7 days. Absolutely beautiful. Yeah, no, it was very nice. It was very relaxing too, and it was like a little bit relaxing to have a little bit more space. In Paris, it felt like you were a little cooped up, and then once you got here, I got the upstairs. So I slept on like, I called the couch area because I was just like, yo, I need some space. You know what I'm saying? I want my stuff to be lounged out and everything, and I just wanna. That whole floor was sort of mine, but we had all the boys up there in the night chilling and everything. So yeah, and then here's me just chilling. We'd gotten there a little bit earlier, I think, than the others, so it was just me just recording before everyone else got there. But yeah, super nice. These are the other rooms that like the other boys stayed in. Yeah, they were. So I think there was one room with like the bunk beds. There's one room with the double that the boys share. Then there's one master. It was a huge bathroom. It had a huge bathroom. I don't think I showed it, or I might have cut it out because I was talking too much in it. Yeah. Oh, this is Is this? No, that wasn't the basement. I thought it was the basement for a second. This is still. I'm about to go into. There's a basement too, and that's where I had like my own private bathroom. I was the only one that used a basement bathroom. And again, like, I'm somewhat, on the bigger scale for most stuff there, or taller. I want to say bigger, but it's hard to like go through the doors and stand upright most of the time. Like, as I show there, I had to duck usually when I try to get into the shower. And I really wanted to capture the shot for some reason to explain my point. I swear there were some times where I just hit my head. And then right when you're downstairs too, like the bathroom, like you can leave the bathroom and on the other side you can just exit out and there's a pool. Okay, this is like when we were about to take the train. This is where the train stop is, and absolutely stunning like view, like it's crazy view. But this is where the train came, and then this is when we went off to all the different cities, or like all the different places. So this is when we went to Old Nice, I believe, and we just explored that area. Yeah, and there's like, again, the scenery here is just incredible. And we also got like, I think, I don't know how to explain it, but there was like a bunch of nice like stores that you could walk in. Oh, there's something really cool about like tax refunds there too, where like people buy designer stuff and then you come back here and you can get almost like a discount. So like you don't have to pay as much. You almost get it discounted. So I had some friends, buy a bunch of designer stuff. Me, I I was cool on it. I don't wear too much designer. But yeah, this is where we went to like a nice little beach area. The water's hella clear there, super beautiful. This is when we got to Cannes. Bunch of celebrities around here. I didn't catch anyone near the hotel, but people were just gathered out, just waiting for someone to come out. We were making jokes about it. People were just so intently, just trying to find somebody.
The more you know who you are.
But yeah, and then we're just walking around. I actually met Jimmy Akingbola. I don't know if any of you watch the new Bel Air, but I met him. Maybe we'll pop up a picture on the screen. But I noticed him at the beach club that we stayed. This beach club, in fact, I noticed him. I was like, yo, that looks exactly like him. None of my friends watch the show except me. So I was like, yo, I'm gonna just go up to him and like see, hey, yo, do you act in the show, just to see. What I had nothing to lose, and he was in a suit. But once I heard his UK accent, I was like, yes, because I know that I've seen him do interviews. I know exactly how he talks like. So it was a very cool guy, Yeah, and here we are in another beach club. It's like, we there was a lot of like dining by the water. That was sort of like a delicacy there. It was just a nice thing to do. Super relaxing. Super hot there too. I'm someone that hates the heat. Probably should have brought a hat or something, because I know I was getting flamed by the sun. I don't even think we bought sunscreen until like maybe the second to third last day that we were there. So not pleasant, but yeah, the views are incredible. I forget where the specific point is, but you could like climb all the way to the top, sort of. And it's just a super nice view. There's a lot of viewpoints in France. You're very elevated. So it's a very cool thing to see. So there was a pretty cool church up there too. We didn't get to enter that. I don't know if we weren't allowed to or if we just brushed by it. But yeah, we were just climbing further up to see if there's more of a view. Yeah, here we are. There's some cool plants, like desert plants. Like you see cactuses or cacti. Yeah, there's one part where I actually touched one. It was like it looked like it was fake, so I touched it, and I literally had like one of the things, like the pins or pricks or whatever you call them, like in my thing that I had to remove from my hand. But it was this one. I recognize it. It's literally this one. Come on, this one just looked like a fuzzball. I was like, there's no way that hurts. Like one of my boys was touching it first, and then I was just like, and I was like, I first touched it and I was like, wait, what? I like felt a little bit like of a sharp thing, but I was like, no, maybe my brain's just playing like games on me. So then I did it again, and then it literally, I got one on my finger. But it was pretty easy to remove. But again, I don't advise touching none of that. You know, I was stupid. I didn't know. I don't know how deep that could have went, or if it was poisonous, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. It's never worth touching something you don't know about. Facts. Here we are, we're climbing up. This is like the superior view. This is like all the way up top. Before, the other clips were like a little bit further down, but this one is like when you're all the way up at top. And again, the sun was beating down, man. It was beating down when you're up there. You feel it. I think there's a clip in here where I try to like catch some shade and stuff, man. But come on, this view is just unmatched. It looked like some ancient ruins or something. I don't know how to explain it. Like you see in like Rome, you see like the ruins of like, let's say what do they call it? The Colosseum. It felt like that being up there, just seeing the ruins of that stuff. I swear sometimes I'd be recording like near the side. I was like, yo, what if I drop my camera? I'd be like, that's raps. That's a bunch of money down the drain and a bunch of footage too. I mean, man, I already screwed up the audio part, but I didn't want to lose the actual footage too. Yeah, no, that sucks. I really get, oh, this is me trying to catch some shade because it was too hot. And then I realized, nah, that wasn't even working. There was like a little like stone hedge up top that I thought would cover me from the sun. You see that? Like there's a little shade that's provided, but it wasn't covering me. It wasn't like that long enough. But I was just like, forget it, and I just kept walking around up there. I'm just taking more shots like this. Water's beautiful, and being like that high up is just incredible too. There's this cool map thing that my hand is on, or like I think it explains all the scenery and stuff like that, all the points. I showed it to y'all. I recorded it. It's beautifully engraved in there too. If y'all want to do more research into that, there you go. Maybe you can slow it down and look into it. But yeah, we were just fascinated with the water and the whole viewpoint. See, the one thing is like people are like, yo, why do you just stay up there for so long and just keep capturing the same stuff? When you're up there, it's just like a different story. Like, it's breathtaking to just be up there. That's the whole thing. It doesn't just feel like, oh, it's up there, we're up there, and you just look 1-2 minutes. You're up there to really enjoy and take everything in. You know what I'm saying? It's a completely different experience than looking through it with the camera. And then I guess I got a little goofy here towards the end. I was just messing around with like the statues and stuff. I promise I did not break nothing, so I was very careful. I promise. But yeah, we stayed up here pretty long. It was one of our like close to one of our last days in France. So, oh, this clip just cut to Monaco. So we had gotten to Monaco, and This place is just luxury, man. There's no like homeless people around here. It's just, this is where like all the F1 events happen. For those who don't know what F1 is, I'm not a huge F1 fan, but it's Formula Racing. They literally like block off certain sections in the streets that they race. So that's a big event here, and this place is just one of the wealthiest places in the world. And yeah, I mean, our meals showed it to our bills. We ate by another like waterfront area, and telling you, the bill for that was hefty too. But it was worth it. It was worth it. One thing about being in France, I realized compared to America, is like when you get food, you don't expect to be filled all the time. Like you could, or at least especially in like the more wealthier areas, like you could pay a bunch of money and then only get like small portion sizes versus, you know, you come to America, you might be the portion sizes are a lot bigger. So it's always something to consider. But we're just walking around really, again, taking it all in. Once you got near like the casino and everything, that's where like all the luxury cars were. And a few days after, when we left Monaco, there was a bunch of celebrities that came through here, cons too. So, you know, always in the summertime. And this is a destination place. Everyone loves coming to France, especially these areas. So yeah, no, this place is crazy. It's one of our last days here, literally our last day here, I think. So I was trying to get everybody to do a little fit check. You don't get everyone involved, you know what I'm saying? Everyone dressed up nice. Hell yeah, there we go. There we go. This is where all the yachts were. There's a bunch of yachts. Yeah, so this is where we ate, and then they let us like go out on the side and see all the yachts. But this is where we paid like a lot for food. And here you go, we were by the casino. Place is massive. And then we entered the casino, and then I couldn't film no more. But that's it.